4 minutes until airtime. 4 minutes. Three minutes until airtime. 3 minutes. Two minutes until airtime. 2 minutes. One minute until airtime. 1 minute. Thirty seconds until airtime. 30 seconds. The following is an exclusive presentation of K13 Media. good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to K13 Media's live coverage of high school baseball presented by Countryside Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Jackson, Georgia. We welcome you today to Griffin, Georgia. We are on the campus of Spalding High School for tonight's matchup between the Jags of Spalding High and the Eagles of Rock Springs Christian Academy in Milner. Again, glad to have you here. As you can see on your screen, it is going to be a sunny day for the moment, but a cool day. Very, very cool here at the ballpark this afternoon. Going to get even colder here tonight with the sun sets, and oh boy, the wind is certainly going to be a factor here this afternoon. For the first time today, it's time to welcome you inside the Advanced Roofing and Interiors broadcast booth of Chad Feltman with K13 Media, being joined by my good friend over here, Mr. T. Carmichael, is here in the broadcast booth with us here today. And again, a cold, cold day at the ballpark. We are set up right behind home plate, but we got the best view of the house inside the Advanced Roofing and Interiors broadcast booth. And it's our second time in the past week seeing Spalding High School. We were just with the Jags late last week over in Barnesville in Lamar County. And it's been a few weeks since we've been with Rock Springs Christian Academy. But since we've been with the Eagles, they have not lost a game. They have won 5 straight, and they're back over 500 this year. But they've got a rematch here tonight with a team who took care of them pretty well a few weeks ago to open up the season. So a lot to play for here tonight, a lot to talk about here this evening, and two head coaches who know each other pretty doggone well. Coach Brandon Rice for Rock Springs Christian Academy, Coach Seth Harris for Spalding High School. Teammates long time ago back here at Spalding High School. And coming up here in just a few moments, we're going to sit down with Coach Rice and Coach Harris, reminisce on some of those glory days from when they played ball here in Griffin. If we don't get blown away, fingers crossed. We'll chat with the two coaches coming up in just a few moments, and then we'll have our first pitch tonight. That is scheduled to come your way at 5:55 p.m. We are glad to have you here with us. Gorgeous day at the ballpark. Quick timeout, and then it's Coach Harris and Coach Rice joining me in the broadcast booth next, right after this timeout here with K13 Media. Welcome back to Spalding High School in Griffin, Georgia. We are just moments away from the first pitch tonight as the Rock Springs Christian Academy Eagles are on the road to take on the Jags from Spalding High School. And glad to have you here on the broadcast. I'm Chad Feltman with K13 Media, joined by a couple of former Jags themselves. In the middle right here is Coach Brandon Rice from Rock Springs Christian Academy, and over to his left is Coach Seth Harris from Spalding High School. And normally when I do these pregame interviews, I do them individually, but you know what? These two guys kind of know each other pretty well, so I thought, what the heck? Let's just get them in here. And, well, to be honest, Coach Harris just has to be walking by at the right time, so we stole them and got him here at the table with us. But I know it's kind of tight. Maybe we can all lean in a little bit so they can see us real good on the camera. And I'll let you guys talk. Man, where do we start with this interview and this conversation right here? A couple of good ball teams, a couple of good programs, and, of course, you guys go way back. And, Coach Harris, I believe you were telling me last week in Barnesville, 2004 Final Four with this guy right here, right?
Yeah. He was a sophomore that year. I played a little JV with him. I guess he was in 8th grade. But, that year he carried us. He number one on the mound, threw it well. We were talking over there a while ago. I think me and him 1-2 to everybody all the way to the Final Four. I don't even think we went to the bullpen. Then those were the years. I was talking to him earlier. I said, I wish I could have those back sometimes. I try to tell these kids all the time, this is short, so you better enjoy it while you can. But he's a heck of a ball player, man. Only guy that's ever got drafted out of here. Now, I tell them all the time, I said, his number's one needs to be retired up there.
Coach Rice, I was asking Coach Harris last week over at Lamar County if he's gotten one of your famous baseball cards yet.
No.
I don't think he's been able to get an autographed version. I know the wife has one she can bring over, right?
Every year during baseball season, you'll not hear anything about it. So when baseball season comes around, that's when all the collectors start coming out. Why would they want to collect my card? I don't know. But you get them in the mail, and it's still cool to get. It's still cool that people write you little notes. It makes you feel like something, Even though I wish I would have went further, but it still feels like, I did something, I accomplished something. So it's always a good feeling to get those and, the little notes they write and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Y'all take me back to that 2004 year real quick, that Final Four team. Coach Harris, you were telling me you guys kind of 1-2'd it. What do you remember about that year? Who'd you play in the playoffs? Any particular big moments that still, you remember here 20 years later?
I mean, heck, every game was, we played that year. We played Buster Posey.
He turned out to be a pretty good ball player.
No, it wasn't Buster. It was Gordon Beckham. He was at Westminster.
Yeah.
He actually caught back then.
Okay.
And heck, we went up there. I'll never forget it. We went up there and played them at that and loved it because we were in the same region that year. Mm-hmm. And I think he started both games at both places, and he just freaking shoved. And I mean, Brandon did a tremendous job that year, but we had a good group of kids. I got it right here. I brought him a plaque down here today. He didn't get one, but when I was fortunate enough to come back, they had about 10 of them up there in the press box. I said, "You get one of those?" But you can look. Stats don't lie. I mean, we played ball. 26 and 7.
Go ahead, show it on the camera right there, Coach. Don't be shy. Hang it up there and come up. There you go. A little bit from 2004, the Final Four team.
I'll tell you this much. This one game I'll never forget, and he don't forget it either. We went to Pike. We won 19-2. He pitched. I think on the way out, they were running. They were throwing rocks at the bus on the way when we were leaving. I'll never forget it. But those moments you can't forget. Mickey did a great job. That was his first year as a head coach here at Spalding.
Yep.
He taught us what it was like to have fun playing baseball.
Right.
He was young, and probably heck my age. I'm 38 now, but it's something. When I come out here all the time, it's something you don't forget.
Coach Rice, how about you? Anything from that year that really sticks out?
I've talked to Mickey. I talked to him pretty often, and I think he was around 34 or 35 when he coached us, because I was doing the math on him one day, and I was like, "How old were you?" So he was about my age. I'm 36, so he was a little younger than I am. But that's still cool to think about that he's been doing it that many years, and he was doing it before then. So that was cool. But like this team right here, man, we had a lot of depth. We picked each other up. We played together. A lot of us were friends, man. We had a good time on the bus. Man, we had great camaraderie, and that's what it's about, man. And I tell these boys all the time, like, look, these boys you're playing beside you, that's your brothers on the field. Whether you pick each other up, you got to know what they're going through, know their feelings, know their tendencies. I mean, like I said, this group right here was special, man, and no matter what I did, I always remembered that, and that's something in my heart big time. Like coming back here, it's just, man, it's great to see it. Like the field looks great. I told Seth the field looks really, really good, and it's been 16 years since I've been here.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I got a sign on the fence over there. I said, "How do you want your legacy to be left here?" And that's kind of where I got it from. And Moody used to use the word pride. We had shirts with pride on the back, and if he felt like we wasn't giving pride, he made us turn them around backwards and wear them with pride on the front.
That's right.
But a lot of life lessons were taught back then too, which we didn't do a lot of stupid stuff. It was just good kids, good parents. Everybody's involved.
One thing we all three at the table have in common is we were all fortunate to play for Coach Mickey Moody. Of course, when I was at Jackson High School, he was there my 9th and 10th grade year. Then he came to Spalding, and, then Coach Nelson was back over at Jackson. But you were talking about Coach Moody making you wear the shirts with pride. I remember when I was a freshman at Jackson High School, he had this rule where when you stepped into the dugout, if your shoes and your cleats were not polished, you didn't even have to worry about playing that day. Yep. And some of the guys I played with, this is so stupid. They're just going to get dirty. But he was dead serious. And if you didn't – it don't matter if you played in mud the night before. When those cleats were on your feet in that dugout before you ever took the field, they better look brand new out of the box.
Stirrups, cleats, and no batting gloves and no wristbands.
Absolutely.
That was the biggest thing, too. And, like when we were there, like Seth just said, there's no batting gloves. You wore stirrups. You didn't have no eye black.
Yep.
Man, we didn't do all this pretty stuff, man. We were up there just bare-handing it. There was no – we had – you could be calluses on your hand. It didn't matter.
That's right.
And that's what he was big on. And I asked him a few weeks ago – or not a few weeks, probably a couple months ago. I said, "Coach," I said, "you've changed a lot." And I said, "you allow this stuff now." I was like, "what happened?" He's like, "Well," he called me Suge.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, Suge, he said, I wouldn't have had nobody play for me.
Yeah.
Nobody'd want to play."
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different age nowadays.
Yep.
Like I guess these kids call it drip nowadays, and they want to look good. It was all about like we wanted to play good. And I know kids these days, it's all this stuff, and that's great and all to have all these accessories, but like if it don't translate on the field, then what really looks good,
Yeah. You're 100% correct. Got Coach Brandon Rice in the middle, head coach for Rock Springs, and Coach Seth Harris on the far left here from Spalding. We're pregame here today at Spalding High School, and I know you guys got to get ready to get back on the field, so just real quickly, I'll ask you real quick about tonight's ball game. This is a rematch between you two teams from earlier in this year, and Coach Rice, I don't know what happened earlier. I don't know if you made this guy a little mad or whatever, but his team took pretty good care of you guys last time. We'll start with you, Coach Rice. How about tonight in the rematch?
Man, they did. They played a good ball game. It was earlier in the year. My guys had to figure a lot of stuff out. I believe we were missing a few guys that game. My basketball guys were out. So it took us a while to figure it out. We'd have that one bad inning. So we had a few things we had to correct. Like I said, playing as a team. You know, a lot of kids wanted to play as individuals and not as a team. So we kind of trying to clean that up. And just, you know, like I said, and it goes back to showing pride. Like, take pride in what you're doing. You know, when you're getting beat, man, you should take that offensive. Like, that should be something that's bothersome to you. You know, and it's just things like that. It's taking it to heart. You know, take it to pride. Like, you know, play the game the right way. And, I mean, that's what we've, you know, the past 5 games we've actually played good. Yep. We've put a complete game together. Pitchers are throwing a little bit better. I feel like we've got a ways to go swinging the bat, but I feel like we're coming together at the right time. So in region, we're doing well so far. So and that's part of why, you know, we play these games early to get that, you know what I mean? And it's great to come in and win the non-regions, but it's also a learning lesson too. Like, you could take something from that. Coach
Harris, his team's won 5 straight. Can you guys end it tonight here in Griffin?
I mean, we're going to try to. That's why you play the game of baseball. You know, I mean, they. I told him after the game when we played them over there, I said, you know, y'all, you know, we both struggled throwing strikes that day. You know, I said it could be a day. I mean, every day's a different day. I mean, these are high school kids. You know, I tell these kids every day, you show up every day. You know, and we got to put all 3 phases together, and we've had trouble doing that lately. But I've been on them, and we got a young guy going today. It's only his second start as a varsity player. He started against Hampton 2 weeks ago. He made it all 7. So, you know, I mean, Brandon's good. They got good players over there. I work my son. He's over at Hard Knocks at Rock Springs with Mickey, and I see these kids hitting in the cage and stuff. They put in the work. So, you know, it's always going. That's why I scheduled him this year. You know, in the past I really hadn't, but I knew we needed some competition, and he's going to bring it.
Well, thank you guys both for joining me here at the broadcast table today. Glad you're getting the hook back up here tonight at Spalding.
Yes,
best of luck to both of you. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Coach Seth Harris, Coach Brandon Rice joining us here at the broadcast table. Hang on, we got the starting lineup in the first pitch coming up next, live from Spalding High School here in Griffin. Ram Truck Month is back at Countryside Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Jackson and Madison, and we're celebrating with the biggest discounts on new Ram trucks that you'll find all year long. We're talking about savings up to $16,000 off the MSRP sticker price. We have the area's largest inventory of new Ram trucks, and we'll beat anybody's price. Have a trade? Bring it to us. At Countryside, we accept all trades, regardless of year, make, or model. It doesn't even matter how much you owe. We'll get you out of your old ride and into a new vehicle today. Shop online, chat with our friendly staff, and apply for easy financing at countrysideautomotive.com. And this month, let's find your new ride at Countryside. I-75 exit 205 in Jackson and I-20 exit 114 in Madison.
Dedication, compassion, and integrity. We've got the experience and expertise. When you need some help and you feel like there's nowhere to go, you can count on us for everything you need to know. The Fellers Law Firm, where clients become family.
Welcome back, everybody, to Spalding High School in Griffin, Georgia. I'm Chad Feltman with K13 Media, coming to you live behind home plate inside the Advanced Roofing and Interiors broadcast booth. Yes, it is loud. We've got the speakers right on top of our head, but we are in for a pretty good night of baseball. It's going to be a very, very cool night for baseball here in Griffin, Georgia this evening, but nonetheless, we should have a pretty good matchup between Rock Springs Christian Academy and the Jags from Spalding High School. As once again, we welcome you back inside the Advanced Roofing and Interiors broadcast booth right behind home plate. I'm Chad Feldman. This is T. Carmichael here with me this evening. Yeah, we borrowed him from Jackson, Georgia here tonight. The Red Devils have a rare night off, so T has been here with me this afternoon, and I hope he's going to stay warm tonight because somehow we have found the only place at the ballpark with no sunshine. We're right here in front of this big concession stand behind home plate, and it's pretty cool right here. We've got everything taped down to the table, so hopefully we don't blow away. Our equipment stays here. Something about these Rock Springs baseball games. When we were with the Eagles a couple of weeks ago back in Milner, they were taking on Piedmont, and man, it was blowing like hurricane force winds that night, and it's another one again here this evening, but at least it's dry. That is the good news. The pollen is also out in full effect here this evening as well. But we're glad to have you on the broadcast here from Spalding High School. Just wrapped up our pregame interview with Coach Brandon Rice and Coach Seth Harris. Great to sit down with those two guys and get to reminisce on some memories from their playing days here at Spalding High School in that Final Four team from back in 2004, and getting to hear the stories about Coach Mickey Moody. Just a fun time to sit down here with them this afternoon. Glad they were able to come by, stop, and join us for a few moments to chat. While we're waiting on the umpires to show up, as soon as they get here, we'll be ready to swap lineup cards, bring you the first pitch. You can see right there on the bottom right of your screen. That's where you'll find Coach Seth Harris in the navy blue. Coach Brandon Rice is there with Rock Springs Christian Academy. And
3 minutes until airtime.
Show up.
3 minutes.
We will have tonight's starting lineups and the first pitch. Gives us a moment to take another quick timeout, then we're right back to the ballpark. And we should be good to go. Well, let's see. Wait a minute. Michael Penn, thank you for the heads up there, Mike. Forgot to turn that down. Here we are. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Penn. Appreciate that. It's turned off and good to go now. So, error on the broadcaster here tonight. Quick timeout. We'll be back with the starting lineups live from Spalding High School right after this.
Discover the power of precision with Countryside Mower and Gravely in downtown Jackson. During our open house event, enjoy exclusive deals like 0% financing with approved credit on new commercial and residential zero-turn mowers and rebates up to $1,500. We've got the area's largest selection of new Gravely and Aaron's zero-turn mowers. Over 200 in stock and ready for delivery. Need service on your current mower? Now's the perfect time to come see us. We have a huge parts department and we service all brands, not just the brands we sell. Get ready for spring during the open house event at Countryside Mower in downtown Jackson. For more information and to see our full inventory, visit us online at countrysidemower.com.
When it comes to printing, there's only one name to remember: Georgia Signs and Print. From banners, yard signs, magnets, life-size cutouts, and vinyl, Georgia Signs and Print is the locally owned printer there for all your printing needs. Need graphics for your company vehicles and windows? How about commercial signs and screen print? Georgia Signs and Print can handle it all. Plus, they offer the fastest turnaround time and no minimum order requirement. No job too big, no job too small. If you're looking for a local printer who offers the best customer service, highest quality, and quickest turnaround time, Georgia Signs and Print is your local printer. For more details, visit Georgia Signs and Print on Facebook. At Georgia Signs and Print, we make it our business to showcase your business. Georgia Signs and Print, proud sponsors of the K13 Media Player of the Game Award.
Welcome back to Spalding High. There are the umpires. They have joined us here. Better late than never, but they are at home plate. Coach Rice and Coach Harris are swapping the lineup cards. And once again, want to welcome you into the Advanced Roofing and Interiors broadcast booth right behind home plate. I'm Chad Feltman with K13 Media, coming to you live tonight on a very, very cool, well, you know what? Let's not even beat around the bush. It's not cool. It's cold here tonight at the ballpark. The wind is howling like crazy here this evening. It is going to be a tough night here for both of these ball teams battling this wind. And if you can see out towards straightaway center field, that American flag, man, is going to be lucky to stay on that pole out there in dead center. That metal pole is dancing left and right. And I'd be shocked if that thing stayed in the ground all night this evening. That is how hard it is blowing here at Rock Springs Christian Academy. All right, time right now, as promised, let's bring you tonight's starting lineups presented by Mama's Kitchen in Barnesville. First off, for Rock Springs Christian Academy, it's going to be Isaac Eubanks. He will lead off and pitch. Brent Washington will bat second and play third. Noah Hamilton will bat third and play shortstop. Ethan McGuirk will bat fourth and play first base. Tate Shiflett will bat fifth and play center field. Liam Bice will bat sixth and play second. Adam McGinnis will bat seventh and catch. Alan McCook will bat eighth and play left field. And Cameron Morris will bat ninth and play right field. For the Jags of Spalding, Hunter Jackson will lead off and play shortstop. Stephen Gilbert will bat second and play second. Tyler Ball will bat third and play first base. Dalton James will bat fourth and play third. Grant Henson will bat fifth and catch. Baxter Key will bat sixth and play center. Ben McDaniel will bat seventh and play left field. Gabe Sisavath will DH and bat eighth. And Chase Clark will round out the batting order. He will bat ninth, and he will play in right field. Once again, your starting lineups are presented by Mama's Kitchen in Barnesville, located on Highway 41 in the heart of Barnesville. Be sure to stop by this week for a great meal from Mama's Kitchen, and throughout the ballgame, we'll be talking about some of their great menu items. And our player of the game tonight will also get a free meal to Mama's Kitchen in Barnesville. How cool is that? So I want to say thank you to Miss Joy Whitaker from Georgia Signs and Print, our proud sponsors of our Player of the Game Award. But that meal from Mama's Kitchen, man, oh man. Be sure to stop by and check out their lunch specials too. Every day for $7, you get a great entree, you get a side, and yes, you even get a drink, and it's all just $7. In Barnesville, Highway 41, it's Mama's Kitchen. Big shout out to Thomas and Angie for being a great partner of ours this year, and hopefully tonight we'll be able to send one of these guys for some free food. Nothing like free food. Always tastes better when it's free. But I want to say thank you to Thomas and Angie again for providing all of our athletes here with our high school sports and our athletes over at Gordon State College with those free meals to Mama's Kitchen in Barnesville. We'll announce that winner after the ball game tonight. Might be an Eagle, might be a Jag. It depends on who we think has the best game this evening. As you can see, the players are once again being announced and lining up down the first base line. Glad to have video for you here this evening from Rock Springs Christian Academy, from Spalding High School. I want to say thanks to Coach Seth Harris for giving us the hospitality and coming out here to set up behind home plate and bring you live coverage of this ball game here this evening. Had a chance to see these Jags last week over in Barnesville in a very tight ball game. It only took an hour and 29 minutes for the Jags to play Lamar County. Lamar County won that game late by a final of 3-2. But this Spalding team beat Rock Springs earlier this year by a final of 21-3. So we'll see what happens here this evening. We're glad to have you on the broadcast. It is now time to bring you tonight's national anthem live from Spalding High School in Griffin. Griffin, we are not going to have to worry about the ice in our coolers melting. It is a really cool night for high school baseball here tonight from Spalding High School in Griffin, Georgia. And once again, glad to have you here with us. I'm Chad Feltman with K13 Media, coming to you live in the Advanced Roofing and Interiors broadcast booth right behind home plate on a beautiful Monday night just off of Highway 16 in Griffin, Georgia. Again, second game of the year between the two teams. They played earlier this year. Spalding won that game by a final of 21-3. That was back over in Milner. But again, that was a night when Rock Springs did not have, I think Coach Rice was telling me, 3 or 4 of their normal starters because they were still playing basketball in the state championship finals at Gordon State College. So full force here tonight for the Eagles, who have won 5 straight games after starting the year 0-4. They have bounced back. They're 2-0 in the region, winners of 5 straight, and they're trying to split the season series here with the Jags from Spalding. Once again, here's the first 3 coming to the plate for Rock Springs Christian Academy. Isaac Eubanks he will pitch tonight. Brant Washington, he will play third. And Noah Hamilton, who pitched in our last Rock Springs broadcast against Piedmont a few weeks back, he will bat third. Those are the first three due up here tonight. If anybody should reach in that order, the first baseman, Ethan McGuirk, would come to bat in the cleanup spot. Very happy to have you here with us. Cool night for high school baseball, but we are here. And the good news is it's supposed to warm up throughout the week. So we'll start tonight with it being cold and windy, but hopefully by the end of the week, we get back in those low to mid 70s, which will be very, very nice. We've been kind of spoiled the past couple of weeks. It's been kind of warm. It's been a little warmer than your average this time of the year the past couple of weeks. But boy, are we paying for it here tonight. It's a cool night at the ballpark. No doubt about it. But a great night, as you can see on your screen. It is a beautiful evening here at Spalding High School. We are just about ready to get things underway as Isaac Eubanks will dig into the box. Lefty will come to the plate and lead the ball game off. Herman Davis will pitch. First pitch is sent out towards shallow left field, and it's going to fall in for a leadoff single. First pitch at 6:05 p.m. tonight, and it is printed by Lester Peak Sightworks and Lester Peak Hauling and Grading. It is a leadoff single for the Rock Springs pitcher, Isaac Eubanks. So a good start into the ball game. Eubanks will stand at first, and it'll bring up the Rock Springs third baseman, Brant Washington. First pitch is a little outside, and there's ball one. Rock Springs lined up in the first base dugout to our right. Spalding in the third base dugout to our left. Eubanks with a good lead over at first. He'll take off. Here's the pitch. It's low and outside, and he's going to take second with no throw. Grant Henson couldn't quite get the ball out of his catcher's mitt, and Eubanks is in with a head-first stolen base. So now a runner in scoring position here for Rock Springs, top of the first inning. 2-0 count to Brant. Here's the pitch. This one's hit down the right field line, and it's going to slice foul about midway down that line out toward right where Chase Clark is playing. Thursday night, Chase was out in left field in our game we had against Lamar County last week. Had a pretty good game out in left field. 2-1 count to Brant Washington, batting second in the lineup. And now Davis will step off the mound and take a look back at second. Top of the first inning, just underway from Spalding High. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a strike. Nope, ball outside. Throw to third is close and not in time. Close play down at third base. A good throw by Henson. A good tag by Dalton James. But Eubanks just barely got in for a stolen base. So now the first run of the ball game is just 90 feet away, and it's a 3-1 count to Brant Washington. Davis is ready. Here's the pitch. It's hit out toward right center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Brant Washington has an RBI single, and Rock Springs is on the board first. A leadoff single by Isaac Eubanks and an RBI single by Brant Washington. Back-to-back base hits for the Eagles, and they jump out on top first, 1-0. Nobody out, and it's going to bring up the shortstop, Noah Hamilton. First pitch to Noah, fouled back to the fence, and there's strike one. Hamilton's at the plate. First baseman Ethan McGuirk is on deck batting cleanup here tonight for the Eagles. Again, Spalding hammered Rock Springs 21-3 earlier this year. That was back when Rock Springs had their home opener. Ouch. Spalding ruined that party in a heartbeat. Pickoff attempt back over to first. And Brant's back with no throw. It's 1-0. Top of the first, nobody out. There's Hamilton at the plate, first pitch. This one fouled down the third base line, just out of the reach of Dalton James. And that's going to bring the count to 0-2. Spalding been struggling a little bit here lately as well. They're 4-9 on the season. Sitting at 2-3 in region play, but obviously this is not a region game. As a matter of fact, this game not even two teams in the same organization. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Curveball again out toward right field. Clark will lose it in the sun. It's going to get all the way to the fence. Brant Washington around second. Here comes Hamilton. He's got to stop at second and hold on and wait for Brant. Now Brant will come around third. Throw to the plate is off the mark. He'll score. Here comes Hamilton around third. He'll slide in and score. How about the start here tonight for Rock Springs? It's going to go down as a triple, an RBI triple for Noah Hamilton, and he will come in and score as the relay throw sailed over the head of the catcher, Grant Henson. So both runners come in to score. Rock Springs on top 3-0. Here at the top of the first inning, a single, and a triple. An error on the throw from second. It just airmailed Henson behind the plate. And the Eagles have already scored as many runs in the first 3 at-bats here tonight as they did the entire game last time they played Spalding. And all 3 base hits early on here in the ballgame have gone out to shallow right field and right center field. So it is 3-0 Eagles. Nobody out, nobody on. And now Ethan McGuirk will come to the plate. Cleanup batter for Rock Springs, playing first base. Well, what a difference in a ball game here than it was about a month ago in Milner. Hit. First 3 batters up. And here's McGuirk trying to keep the party going. First pitch is outside, and there's ball 1. The one thing about Rock Springs baseball games I have come to learn is don't be in any hurry, because they are notorious for taking a long time to play. Especially that state championship series last year. Here's the 1-0 to Ethan. It's outside, and it's 2-0. When Rock Springs and Skipstone played at Luella last May for the Gap State Championship, it took 8 hours and 23 minutes to play 2 ball games on a Saturday. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. And there's strike 1 from Herman Davis. 8 hours and 23 minutes. And I want to say that state championship, the final game, the final score was something like 22-21. Here's the 2-1. Chop slowly, third base, and it's going to roll out of play to even the count at 2-2. Rock Springs won both of those games. Both teams had 10-run innings in that second game, Rock Springs and Skipstone last May. Just when you thought one team was about to blow it open and run away with it, nope. The other one said, it's my turn to score 10 runs in an inning. And that's exactly what happened. So Rock Springs Christian Academy, the Gaps AA defending state champions. Of course, Spalding coming to us out of the Georgia High School Association. They represent Region 2 Class 4A. Here's the pitch to Ethan. Again, down the third base line and fouled. Oh, what a good play. Bare hands down there by the former Jag, Brandon Rice. He might still have a play or 2 left in him at this old ballpark. Of course, this is where Coach Rice played his high school baseball. Another 2-2. Here it comes. It's in the dirt, and the count's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Rice played here. He's the head coach for Rock Springs. Seth Harris played here. He's the head coach for Spalding. They were teammates. Full count, 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And McGuirk will go down swinging. That's going to be the first out. Here at the top of the first inning, it's the first strikeout thrown by Herman Davis. And it's going to bring up the senior center fielder. This is Tate Shiflett. He'll come to the plate with nobody on and 1 out. We're at the top of the first inning. Herman Davis, the righty ready, hits the outside corner, and there's strike 1. Again, Coach Harris was telling us in the pregame show earlier tonight, just the second start for Herman Davis. Here's the 0-1. This one again, opposite field, down the right field line. It's going to drop in for another base hit. Chase Clark will get it back in quickly, but it's the 4th single of the inning. All 4 hits going out to right field. Good piece of hitting that time by Tate Shiflett. He was able to sit back and wait on that breaking ball and was able to just to take it to right field for a base hit. So he'll be on first, and it's going to bring up the second baseman, Liam Bice, with 1 out. 3-0 Eagles. Top of the first. Shiflett takes his lead from first base. He'll go on the first pitch. Ball is going to one-hop the plate. It's going to get away from Henson. Shiflett with a big turn around second. He's about halfway to third, but he'll hold up. And he'll get back to the bag and stay right there. Man, you can hear the wind in the microphones behind us. I hope we got our butts nailed down real good. Yeah, we're going to be out of here. T, you better hang on to me, man. We're going to rope up or do something. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Liam Bice chased one up around his eyes, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. It's a beautiful day, as you can see on your screen. I mean, barely a cloud in the sky, just that one big cloud out in center field. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pop foul out of play behind home plate, and it's 1-2. But, boy, it is really, really cold. My laptop has got to be messed up or dead or something because it says it's 64 degrees. There is absolutely no way. T's checking his watch over there. I'm about to check my phone and see. That sounds about right. Here comes the pitch. Hit between short and third. It's going to find a hole, and it's going to get in for a hit. Let's see if Shiflett has a green light around third. He does not. Big turn around first by Bice, but he will quickly get back to first, and now the Eagles have runners on the corners with one out. The hit parade continues here in the top of inning number 1. That is the 5th base hit for Rock Springs. It'll put runners on the corners, 1 out, and it'll bring up the catcher, Adam McGinnis. Batting 7th in the lineup. I know one thing's for sure. I might have to lose this hat and put the toboggan on. We're in the shade. All the fans are in the stands. We're right here behind home plate. Got this big, giant concession stand and press box behind us. And we've got the shade, the big overhang over us right now, so it may say 56 on T. Carmichael's watch, but I guarantee you with this wind blowing, it feels like 36 out here. Boy, it is cold. Davis will take a fake throw over to third base and get Tate Shiflett back. Rock Springs has runners on the corners. Just 1 out. Top of the first inning. They're up 3-0. Another look over toward third, and Shiflett is back again with no throw. Tate Shiflett, the base runner at third. Liam Bice at first. Bice will take off. There's a strike. Throw down to second is going to be cut off by the shortstop. Bice is going to get in with a stolen base. Hunter Jackson came to cut off the throw to see if they could get Shiflett to take the bait from third. He does not. And now Rock Springs will have runners at second and third with 1 out. Adam McGinnis, the catcher, at the plate. 1-0 count. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit right back up the middle. It might get down. It's picked up behind short. Throw to first in the dirt, but what a play at first base by Tyler Ball. Man, oh man, Hunter Jackson threw it to first at about 100 miles an hour at one hop, Tyler Ball, and he made a fantastic play to save that run at third. It's going to go down as an RBI for McGinnis. It's going to be a 6-3 on the putout, but he'll get credit for the RBI as he brings in Tate Shiflett. Makes it a 4-0 ball game, but if Ball doesn't pick that one up at first, it's easily 5-0. First pitch swung on and missed here by the left fielder. This is Alan McCook. He stands at the plate. 2 outs, top of the first. Runner at third. And another look over toward third base, and back easily is Liam Bice. Urban Davis with a look. Floats one in, and there's a strike right around the belt. And it's 0-2. Alan McCook batting 8th. Cameron Morris, the right fielder, on deck. 0-2 count. Here it comes. In the dirt, swung on and missed. There's strike 3, the tag by Henson, and that will retire the side. But Rock Springs comes out swinging. They put a 4 spot on the board as we go to the bottom of inning number 1. Rock Springs on top early, 4-0.
Dodge Power Dollars are back at Countryside Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Jackson and Madison, and we're ready to put some muscle in your garage by offering savings up to $10,000 on our remaining 2023 Dodge Chargers and Dodge Challengers. Scat Packs, Hellcats, gel brakes, RTs, and last calls. We've got them, but you've got to hurry because once these 2023s are gone, they're gone forever. The 2023 Chargers and Challengers are the last Hemi-powered V8s that Dodge will produce. So come grab your piece of American muscle car history before it's too late. Shop online, chat with our friendly staff, and apply for easy financing at countrysideautomotive.com. And this month, let's find your new ride at Countryside. I-75 exit 205 in Jackson and I-20 exit 114 in Madison.
Dedication, compassion, and integrity. We've got the experience and expertise. some help and you feel like there's nowhere to go, you can count on us for everything you need to know. The Seller's Law Firm, where clients become family.
Welcome back to Griffin. K13 Media's live coverage of Rock Springs Christian Academy High School baseball. Coming to you live today from Spalding High School. We are in Griffin, Georgia, just off of Highway 16. Probably the shortest road trip Rock Springs will make all year. Just off of High Falls Road here on Highway 16. What, maybe a 10-minute trip, if that?
Number 16, Hunter Jackson.
We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. Rock Springs leading at 4-0, and coming to the plate is going to be the shortstop, Hunter Jackson. He will lead it off. Isaac Eubanks on the mound here for Rock Springs. Tall righty wearing number 5. He'll get the start. First pitch is low down around the knees, and it's ball 1. Hunter Jackson, Stephen Gilbert, Tyler Ball, the first 3 up for the Jags. As Eubanks works out of the wide, paints the corner on the outside, and there's strike 1, and that's going to even the count. Alan McCook in left, Tate Shiflett in center, Cameron Morris in right. You got Brant Washington at third, Noah Hamilton at short, Liam Bias at second, Ethan McGuirk is over at first, McGinnis behind the plate, and again, it's Isaac Eubanks on the mound. 1-1 count, here's the pitch. Has a fastball get away from him high and inside, and it's 2-1. Hunter Jackson, the shortstop, leading it off here at the plate. 4-0, bottom of inning number 1. Here's the pitch from Eubanks. Fires another strike and throws it right by Hunter Jackson. Counts even at 2-2. Eubanks will get his sign. He's in the wide, and the 2-2 pitch a little low and inside, and it's full at 3-2. Eubanks with that bright sky blue glove on out there. Does not match the team uniform absolutely one bit. But that's kind of the style these days for baseball players. Payoff pitch, here it comes, the 3-2, swing and a miss. Eubanks said, don't talk about my glove because I'm throwing heat and that's all that matters.
Number 27, Steven.
But that's kind of the style. Like I said, you see a lot of starting pitchers with the different glove combinations this year. I've seen some bright purple gloves, some neon green gloves. Stephen Gilbert will come to the plate. First pitch is a fastball inside at the knees, and there's ball 1. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Rock Springs on top 4-0. Here comes the 1-0. There's a strike at the knees, and Eubanks is dealing right now. He is keeping everything low. That's exactly what you want to do. As you can hear the wind continue to pick up in the background. The 1-1 pitch. And as soon as I say he's working low, he throws one high and outside. 2-1 count to the second baseman, Stephen Gilbert. Here comes the pitch from Eubanks. Had a lot of spin on that one. That one tailed off the plate. Gilbert swung right through it, and it's 2-2. 2-2 count. Eubanks will get his side from McGinnis. Here's the line in the pitch. He spiked this one in the ground, and it's full at 3-2. When we broadcast the Spalding game against Lamar County last week in Barnesville, it only took 1 hour and 29 minutes to play 7 innings. That would be great if we could repeat that one here today, because it is cold at the ballpark. 3-2 pitch downstairs, and there's ball 4. It'll be a 1-out walk to Stephen Gilbert. So he will take first base. And it's going to bring on the first baseman, Tyler Ball, who made a fantastic play at first last inning to take a run away from Rock Springs. Took a throw from the shortstop, Hunter Jackson, that one-hopped him. Tricky hop over at first base. He was able to scoop it out of the dirt. It kept Liam Bice at third, and it saved what would have been the 5th run of the inning for the Eagles. First pitch, again in the dirt. Runner takes off from first. Throw down to second is going to be off the mark, and backing up the play at second base is Noah Hamilton. Throw was off the bag at second. Hamilton was there to back up Liam Bice, and now to keep the runner at second. 1-0 count to Tyler Ball. Here comes the pitch, way outside. And it's 2-0. First time today that Eubanks has had to work out of the stretch. Wind blowing that American flag in center field. It's going to blow it off that pole before we get out of here tonight. It may blow us out of our seats, too. First time in 20 years of broadcasting. Last time I did a Rock Springs game a few weeks ago against Piedmont Milner, I had my laptop blow off the table. That's how hard it was blowing in Milner that night. There's a swing and a miss. Good fastball by Isaac. It's blowing about 20 miles an hour faster tonight than it was 2 weeks ago in Milner. 2-1 count. Runner at second with one out. Bottom of the first. Eubanks will check the runner. Here comes the pitch. A little low and outside, and it's 3-1. Tyler Ball is at the plate. Dalton James is on deck. 4-0 lead. Eagles on top in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. High and inside, and it's back-to-back walks by Isaac Eubanks after the strikeout to start the inning.
Number 13.
And it's going to bring up Dalton James. James is the cleanup batter here for Spalding. Third baseman for the Jags today. He's got runners on first and second. One out in the bottom of the first inning. Shea starting to set a little bit down the third base line. First pitch on the way. Good fastball right below the belt. And it's 0-1. Dalton James is at the plate. The catcher, Grant Henson, in the on-deck circle for the Jags. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Tailed off the plate. And it's 1-1. Good fastball there from Eubanks. Ball starts down the middle and then cuts off the outside corner. Just a little too far off on that one. Came inside this time, and it brushes James back with the 1-1 to bring the count to 2-1. Been a long time since I've been over here for a baseball game at Spalding High School. Eubanks checks the runner at second. Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. I want to say last time I was over here was when Coach David Fletcher was coaching for Jackson High School. That was right after I graduated in 2003. Of course, Bill Nelson took over after Coach Moody left Jackson to come here to Spalding, and then Coach Fletcher took over, I want to say it was 2005 or 2006 at Jackson High School. 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Just missed. I guess it was a little outside. And that's going to run the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. There goes something flying away under the table. Good catch there, T. Another 3-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mitt. Dalton James swings at ball 4. Second strikeout by Isaac Eubanks. And that's a big one. Boy, if James doesn't swing, that would have loaded the bases. Instead, it's out 2. And it'll bring up the Spalding catcher, Grant Henson. Runners on first and second. First pitch on the way to Henson. There's a fastball caught the inside corner for strike 1. We're in the bottom of the first. 4-0 Eagles. Here comes the 0-1. Popped up. Right side. Foul territory. Who wants it? It's going to get out of play for strike 2. For a moment, I thought Eubanks was going to come in and try to jump the fence and make the catch. He was running that thing at 100 miles an hour. Thought he was about to put the cleats in it and Spider-Man style it for a second, but he held up. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Runners on first and second for the Jags, 2 down. Eubanks trying to strike out the side. Runner steps off. Throw to third is off the glove of Washington. It's going to get down the line, and Stephen Gilbert is going to make it over to third. Tyler Ball is going to go from first to second. Gilbert just started taking off toward third. The Eagles had him picked, had him dead in the water, but the ball just hit off the glove of the third baseman, Brant Washington. 0-2 count. Eubanks is ready. Here comes the pitch. Downstairs, there's ball 1. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks here in the inning by Isaac Eubanks. Grant Henson is at the plate with a 1-2 count. Here comes the stretch and the pitch. High and tight, brushes him back, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes First base is open. Eubanks again out of the stretch with the pitch. Low and in the dirt, and he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Another good stop behind the plate by Adam McGinnis. Got a full count. Here comes the stretch and the payoff. Pop foul, first base line, and it's out of play. And we'll see another full count pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third in the bottom of the first inning. Eubanks on the mound, Henson at the plate. Isaac's ready. The stretch in the 3-2. Hit up towards center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. 1 run will come in. Throw to the plate is up the line, but it's going to hold the runner at third base. Meanwhile, Grant Henson will take second on the throw. So Henson's going to get credit for an RBI single on a 3-2 count. He takes it to straightaway center field. He brings in Steven Gilbert, and it's a 4-1 ball game. Courtesy runners coming in to catch. Jaden Miller, number 2, is going to come in and run for the catcher, Grant Henson. So Henson will come get his catcher's gear on. Jaden Miller will run at second. It's 4-1, bottom of the first inning, 2 outs. And it's going to bring up the center fielder, Baxter Key. The walks come back to hurt the Eagles here in the first. Here's the stretch in the first pitch. Curveball upstairs around the letters. And there's ball 1 from Eubanks. Baxter Key at the plate. Ben McDaniel is on deck. Here's the 1-0. Down at the knees for ball 2. Man, good spot there by Eubanks. Just didn't get the close call. Inside corner at the knees. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's high and outside, and it's 3-0. And let's see if Key's got a green light here or if he's taking all the way. 3-0 count. Isaac's ready. Here's the pitch. And he was taking all the way. And there's a strike at the belt. 3-1 count. Here it comes. This one's grounded over toward first. It's going to get in for a base hit. Here comes 1 run in to score. Jaden Miller around third. He's going to come in and score. It's a 2-run single by Baxter Key. And it's now a 4-3 ball game. Spalding doing some 2-out damage here in the bottom of the first inning. An RBI single by Grant Henson, a 2-run single by Baxter Key makes it a 4-3 ball game. And now it's going to bring up the left fielder, Ben McDaniel. 2 outs, runner on first. Ben pitched last week in the game we did over at Lamar County. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Went the entire game. Pitched great. Lamar County came back to win that ball game 3-2 late after a couple of costly errors by the Jags. But boy, McDaniel looked really good in that ball game. Here comes the 1-0 to him. There's a strike inside, and it's going to even the count at 1-1. Playing left field here tonight. 4-3, first inning. Eubanks will work out of the stretch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. A good high fastball from Isaac Eubanks. And he's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He was a strike away from getting out of the inning with a 4-0 lead. But Henson had an RBI single on a 3-2 pitch. This one's in the dirt. Another good block behind home plate by McGinnis. That'll leave the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baxter Key, the runner at first. 2-2 count to McDaniel. Inside, and there's ball 3. And another full count. Runner will go on the pitch. Full count. There he goes, and here comes the 3-2. It's fouled out of play down the first base line. A late swing by McDaniel, but he just did get the handle of the bat out there. Count remains full at 3-2. Here comes another one. There's strike 3, inside corner. McDaniel will go down looking at a called strike 3. Eubanks will strike out the side, but Spalding's able to get 3 of the 4 runs back they gave up in the top of the inning. We'll go to the top of inning number 2. It's a 4-3 ball game. Rock Springs on top of the Jags.
Dodge Power Dollars are back at Countryside Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Jackson and Madison, and we're ready to put some muscle in your garage by offering savings up to $10,000 on our remaining 2023 Dodge Chargers and Dodge Challengers. Scat Packs, Hellcats, gel brakes, RTs, and last calls. We've got them, but you've got to hurry because once these 2023s are gone, they're gone forever. The 2023 Chargers and Challengers are the last Hemi-powered V8s that Dodge will produce. So come grab your piece of American muscle car history before it's too late. Shop online, chat with our friendly staff, and apply for easy financing at countrysideautomotive.com. And this month, let's find your new ride at Countryside. I-75 exit 205 in Jackson and I-20 exit 114 in Madison.
Glad to have you here with us for K13 Media's live coverage of high school baseball, presented by Countryside Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Jackson. I'm Chad Feltman with K13 Media. Tonight we're coming to you live from Spalding High School in Griffin, Georgia, as Spalding is taking on the Rock Springs Christian Academy Eagles. 4-3 ball game as we go to the top of inning number 2. Cameron Morris will lead it off. First pitch is a changeup in for strike 1. The Eagles were able to get 4 runs on the board in their first at bat. Off of Herman Davis, pitching here for the Jags. 0-1 drops in, another good breaking ball off the inside corner. Now it's 0-2. Again, Rock Springs has won 5 straight games, trying to get a 6-pack here this evening. 0-2 pitch. Tap foul down the third base line, and Morris just does get a piece of it to stay alive. Herman Davis on the mound. Number 9 batter Cameron Morris at the plate. Boy, oh boy. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to third. James has it. Throws across the diamond. Good stretch by Tyler Ball at first base. That's the second good play Ball has made tonight over at the bag for Spalding. And it's going to be the first down of the inning as Morris will ground out for the first down on the top of the second. Now we'll go back to the top of the order. It's Isaac Eubanks. Led the game off with a single. First 3 batters for the Eagles had a base hit in the top of the first inning. Swing and a miss here. Good spin on that one from Herman Davis as it cut back inside on Eubanks. Only lefty in the batting order here for the Eagles. Here comes the 0-1. Strike on the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. So Herman Davis has started the top of the second with 0-2 counts to back-to-back batters. Here comes the 0-2. Missed a little off the plate that time. There's ball 1. Brant Washington's in the on-deck circle. He had an RBI single his first time to the plate. Drove in Eubanks for the first one of the game. 1-2 outside, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out, top of the second. Here comes the 2-2 from Davis. Hits it right back up the middle. Eubanks is able to get in for another base hit. Isaac Eubanks is 2 for 2 in the ballgame. He's got 2 singles. Well, that's exactly what you expect out of your leadoff batter. Find a way to get on base, and Eubanks has done it both times to the plate. He stole second. He stole third last inning. Let's see how aggressive he'll be here. Brant Washington, the third baseman, will come to the plate now. Snap throw to first, and boy, Eubanks just did get back in time. Jags know that Eubanks is more than likely going to be off to the races first chance he gets. And Herman Davis going to try to keep him close. First pitch on the way to Brant, low and inside. There's ball 1. Pops away a moment from Henson, but he's able to get it out in the grass. Eagles with 4 in the top of the first. Spalding with 3 in the bottom of the first. Top of inning number 2. Lights just cut on here in Griffin. Another pickoff attempt, and again, Isaac's back with a head-first dive over at first base. 1-0 count to Washington. There goes Ayers. The 2-2 runner takes off from second. This one hit right back up the middle, and it's going to get down for a base hit. One run will come in to score. The throw home will allow the runners both to advance.